Welcome back to the Pesky Report brought to you by Beyond the Monster. I'm your host, Matthew, back on the weekday show with Bailey and Kevin today. Excited to have you guys joining us. Not so excited to be talking about this series of Red Sox baseball, which unfortunately we can't even say it's 500 baseball anymore because as of today, they officially have dropped below 500. The Toronto Blue Jays won today, bringing them up to 500. So we are not even second place anymore. We are in third
Yeah.
place to both the Yankees and the
Mhm.
Toronto Blue Jays, and just got swept by the best
Absolutely
team in
insane.
baseball.
Good job,
Yeah,
team.
absolutely insane.
Yeah, I guess the consolation is that it was the best team in baseball record wise, uh, and that we got swept. And two of the losses were in extra innings. So I mean, if you want any consolation to lose, two, it's we could say, hey, we almost won two.
Mm.
Almost.
Should have won
The first one,
too.
Should
not
have.
s- not so much.
Not so
But
hot.
before we dive into all of that, I'm curious to know what you guys are thinking. But I do want to make sure give a shout out to the social medias. Got to plug that on Twitter at the Pesky Report. We've actually started posting videos. So if you guys are someone who typically consumes an audio format, I've seen Jordan's been uploading the videos to YouTube after the fact. So typically we'll drop the episode on podcast form and then drop it on YouTube a couple of days later or the next day. I don't know. I don't really know exactly the timing of when it's been coming out. But anyways, it's a new update. I'm excited about it. I think it's cool to have videos out there. So no pressure. Um, but smile, you're on camera. Yeah, so
So I should
that's what
wear a
we got going
shirt.
on.
Is that what you're
Yeah, I
saying?
should
We should be
I should
fully
put makeup on.
clothed when we're
Well,
doing this.
no, Kevin, I think you should stay the way you are because that will attract the viewers.
It's true.
Oh, okay,
It's
perfect,
like the
perfect.
naked
Thank you.
drummer in that one movie where it's like everybody was just tuning in because they had the naked drummer. It's like, well, if we got
That's
the
it.
naked podcaster, who's not going to tune in? Like, come on.
Exactly. That was my thoughts exactly. So, so Kevin's on with us tonight. Kevin, you were obviously the only one of us three that were on last week's episode.
Yes.
So, how are you feeling now after this sweep? And then obviously we had the series victory over the weekend, right? Did that throw you for a loop a little bit? Like, what's your current vibe right now?
Um, I don't know. I'm like Masamino, right? Like I'm very like middle of the road. Like I'm not like listen, it's a tough whenever you get swept and we talk about how important it is over 162 to not get swept, right? Like just at least steal one, right? And coming off of two great series wins, we had the Raffy drama. We talked about that last week. I mean, how that was the entire episode. I think we almost went like an hour and 40 minutes on Raffy alone. And then listen, Detroit's no joke. Um, I felt like, they threw a punch, we throw a punch back, we throw a punch, they throw a punch back, and that's you didn't feel that way last year when the Sox were playing teams over 500, specifically
Hmm.
over 500. You just saw like there was a disparity in talent in the roster construction. I don't feel that way this year. I want to make it clear I'm not happy about getting swept.
Hmm.
But am I like, oh, we're not going to recover and it's May 14th? Now we'll figure it out. Hopefully we'll right the ship fairly soon.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're the sweeps guy, but not when it's happening to you. You know.
No, I am the sweeps, and I did tell who was it, Jordan and Jack that I recorded with. I go, I'm going with the sweep over the Tigers because I am the sweep guy, and it's not fun to be on the other end. I'm gonna let you know. It's just I feel it in my stomach. I feel like I let everybody down. I feel like people wait for my prediction, knowing what it is, and it was awful. So I apologize.
Well, if it does make you feel any better, you wouldn't have predicted this series. It would have been the last series that you would have predicted.
That is
Um,
true.
so they did
That
win
is
that
true.
series. Um, Bailey, what's you're an LA girl. You got the Dodgers out there. You've got this dominating media force of just the one of the best teams in all of baseball, most exciting team in all of baseball, and you're rooting for the Boston Red Sox who can't stay above 500 in a division where the best team only has 25 wins.
Yep.
What's your take on the current status of the Red Sox after getting swept?
My take is if I told you the Boston Red Sox were going to score 5 earned runs off of Tarek Skubal, what would you all have said? Would you have been like, "Damn, what a win!" I
Yes.
just I went
Absolutely.
into this game being like, "Oh, somehow we'll score off of him," and we did. It was just it seems like with this team nothing is clicking at the same time. And like that's the problem. It'll be like, "Oh wow, we've got some good starting pitching. Wow, we've had a couple of games where the bullpens look really good. Wow, offense is looking awesome." It just has never all been happening at the same time. And that to me is like the most frustrating thing, and it like kind of just drives me up a wall because on paper I didn't go into this season being like, World Series, let's go, we're doing it, we spent a gazillion dollars with it, we're just doing what the Dodgers are doing, which John Henry could, just saying, he could. But it's like they went out and spent 40 million a year to go and get Alex Bregman, who has been amazing. Like there's not a single knock on what Alex Bregman's doing. The same way that Garrett Crochet, they went out and trade. So like the two big guys have been doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing, but it's like I knew that like certain people were going to regress. Like I completely said, "Oh, the regression is going to happen for Tanner Houck." And I didn't think it was going to be maybe back to A ball, like as you've said, Alek Manoah level. Like I didn't think that was going to happen to him. And I thought, of course, Duran was going to regress. But like, how are you rolling somebody with an OBP under 300 right now as your leadoff guy? So like, these are just some of the issues. And it's like, nothing's clicking at once. Like this team is so much better. And that's the kind of really what's driving me up a wall most this year. Like, honestly.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, ugh, be better, please. You can be better.
It's the epitome of a 500 team,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of funny because last year, like you said, it didn't. Well, Kevin said it
Yeah.
didn't feel the same. Like it
Mhm.
felt
Mhm.
like we were battling to get those wins. Like that hot streak that the team went on in the middle of the year, they were dominating the Phillies and the Yankees and
Mhm.
these other teams that came to town. And there was that really good stretch of baseball that they played where it's like, okay, I could see them doing something. I think there were 8 games or 10 games over 500. Like we were looking pretty good until we went to LA, and LA Matt unfortunately cursed that
Yeah.
rest of the season.
Eh,
We don't need to talk about that, but um, it just felt different. Now this season, it's like we're still playing 500 ball, right? But we're playing it in a way where you see that they are clearly more talented than they were last year. They clearly
Absolutely.
have more pieces, and like you said, nothing is clicking together.
That's big.
And even the games when they go ahead in, 2 runs in the 11th inning with a home run to fire people up, right? And your rookie gets just absolutely crushes
Great.
off a guy with like a
Insane.
.089 ERA, and you're
Insane.
like, okay, incredible. And then you immediately turn around and say, yeah, Greg Weissert should go out for a second inning, and then 3-run jack to the worst hitter in all of baseball, like
Yeah.
literally other than Chris Bryant, like the worst player, and he hits a 3-run home run.
On
Like, yes,
planet Earth. Yeah.
he's having a good season. Like,
Yeah, he
fine,
is. He
whatever.
is.
But that's
crazy.
not besides the point. It's Javier Baez. Like, are we serious right now?
Yeah.
So I just don't know what to think, and I keep seeing people saying we need some major shakeups to happen. Like the Red Sox need to do something, right? Well, what would even a major shakeup look like at this point? Because I think that we got maybe the first taste of it today, right? I penciled this game in for a loss, not gonna lie. It's a Tarek Skubal start.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
come
Yeah,
on.
it's
I
fair.
thought we were gonna win 2 out of 3, and this would be the one that we would lose.
Mhm.
And you're right. If I was told ahead of time, 5 runs off Tarek Skubal, and I'd be like, okay. But if you also turned around and said like Tarek Skubal is going to have let's see, like 12 strikeouts against you guys. Oh yeah, 11 strikeouts and 1 walk. I'd be like, oh yeah, we're losing that game.
Yeah,
Like
we're done.
100%, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it comes and goes a little bit, but it's just let's talk about some of the things. So we started today with the optioning of Tanner Houck, which I'm sorry, not the optioning of Tanner Houck. I wish we had optioned him, but
Yeah,
instead we
Would've
placed
been
him on
nice.
the fakest IL
the
stint that
fakest.
we've ever had.
A little bit of discomfort, right? The only thing is the discomfort is in the place you don't want the if it's true discomfort, it's like, how long before we need surgery? Like that's not a great area to have your discomfort if it's real, you know.
If it's actually happening, and I'm not
Yeah.
one to doubt the the sincerity of the Red Sox medical staff with placing players on the phantom IL. I mean the IL, but you guys have seen what we did to Corey Kluber in 2023. Was that 2023 or 2022? 2020. Geez, all blended together. It must have been 22. And
Mm,
because he was the opening day starter in 2022. He was
crazy.
not in the Netflix documentary, but
He
so
was
they
not.
put him on the IL and then he never saw another lick of game action for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Mm,
I want to debut this hot take right now. I don't think Tanner Houck pitches for the Red Sox again in 2024.
You're
I
not the
think
only one that
I
thinks
think
that.
he's done. I would be
Well,
shocked.
I think it poses the question of roster construction, which we
Mhm.
beat to a dead pulp with the Raffy comments and him, saying he's not going to play first, and just questioning Breslow a little bit. And I think we kind of keep coming back to the same question. I know the Section 10 guys did it as well. It feels like everybody on Sox Twitter is doing it, and Matt was posing it. Is this the best 26 guys that we're putting out there? And I don't know if anybody in their right mind can confidently say at this moment, this is the best 26 we got, right? And
Mhm.
listen, I'm also a proponent, and we talked about it last. I'm sorry, I'm not going to keep referring to it. If you bring up Marcelo, he needs to play every day. If
100%.
you
Oh, thank
bring up
God.
Roman, he needs to play every day, right?
The people that
Cutter,
want them to platoon, I don't get.
it's insane.
What are we
They
doing?
need at bats. They need to play every day.
100%.
Yes.
You have guys like Cutter who are going to start beginning to throw.
Mhm.
You now have Tanner who has literally set history with his 2 starts and the
He
amount of
really
runs
is.
that he gave up in the innings
Mm-hmm.
that he had. I don't know who the Twitter account was, but they posted never happened before with the amount of earned runs that he's given up in the innings that he's pitched. So is this the best 26? And I think we keep coming back to no, this team can be so much better.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a lineup construction. We know we have obviously now we have a first base problem that which by the way we had in the offseason when Breslow was fielding offers to trade for Casas. So it's always been there. So where do we go from here? And I'm not going to be long-winded on this, but we don't have the best 26 guys out there right now. Part of it's injuries, part of it's guys underperforming.
Mhm.
By the way, there's also a culture in this, and make no mistake, the 2 guys that were brought in, Crochet and Bregman, thriving. Christian
Yes.
Campbell thriving. Majority of this clubhouse has been together for a little while now. Rafi being the longest tenured member, they know what 500 ball looks like, and they look like a team that knows what 500 ball looks like. They
Mm-hmm.
need to go on a serious streak or shake things up because they need to get this out of the air. They need to get it off our minds. Us who get the privilege of talking about it need to stop talking about 500 baseball.
I couldn't agree with you more, Kevin. It's frustrating to see the pattern continuing. And to your point, they brought in, Garrett Crochet doesn't even know 500 baseball at this point. He's probably like, man, this is great. They're actually
He's
winning
like,
half the games I'm playing. Like, yeah,
"Oh,
let's
it's
yeah,
go.
historically shit. No, but this is great."
Oh, this is fantastic.
That's
Yeah.
a great point. That's a great point.
But Alex Bregman, like, this is not, and I'm sure he's fired up. Like, this can't be can't be fun for him, right? But you see that he's still going out there. He had his 11th home run today, hit
Yeah.
his 10th home run last night. He's still absolute professional, right? He's still making the plays at third base. He's still absolutely dominating the best pitcher in baseball in Tarek Skubal today. Like,
Destroyed him.
he crushed him.
Shoo.
He's doing a great job. But yeah, they have to do something about it. This is what I'm thinking right now. Like there's a there's a legit IL stint coming for Jarren Duran here very shortly.
Yeah.
His thumb has been jammed up ever since he jammed his thumb. It was a couple of days ago. He is batting 149 with like
Something's not right.
14 strikeouts.
Yeah.
And
He
he's
looks bad. Like he looks bad.
Yeah.
Like,
out there they pulled him halfway through the game on Monday during the blowout, and then he's still playing with like a brace around his thumb. So I think shakeup number one now that Rob Refsnyder's back is to put him on the IL. I think that he needs to just take a couple of weeks off and just like figure himself out. That's a problem. The problem is in that situation, they're not going to then be like, oh, let's bring up Roman Anthony now. This
They
is the
will
perfect
not.
time. They're going to be like, Trace Thompson, you're coming up to the big
we'll
leagues,
fuck
buddy.
with the 40 for Trace Thompson, but we won't fuck with the 40 for the consensus best prospect in baseball because I'm just so angry.
I learned something interesting the other day, which is that this was shout out to Sox prospects for this little nugget. You cannot transfer someone to the 60-day without a roster need for it. So that you can't just be like Cutter Crawford, Yoshida, Casas, these guys that are also not on the 60. You can't just proactively transfer them to the 60 and then say, now we got all this open roster spots. You have to have a corresponding move to then transfer someone to the 60. So there might be more roster flexibility than we're knowing of because all they have to do is say, oh, we're full at 40. Tristan Casas, 60. Masataka Yoshida, 60 backdated. Cutter Crawford, 60-day backdated. Like there's tons of options for these guys. I don't know if I said Yoshida, but him as well. I think Chris Murphy might have already been transferred, but if he's not, like that's another one.
Yeah.
So we got that, but these are the guys that I would be looking at would be Jarren Duran taking a seat. We got, Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony. The second they get called up, to Kevin's point, they got to be played. Like they're going to be played. That's what Cora has stated.
Like, what are you gonna do? It's like
Trevor Story's looked awful. He's below replacement level. I'm over.
So bad. It's so bad.
If you look at his baseball savant, ice cold. Every metric.
Yeah.
He's
cold.
just.
It's like a Smurf. Like geez.
I was on it
lost to the
today,
plate.
and it hits. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was on the Savant today, and like you said, it's a snowman. Like it is ice cold.
Well, not only that, his defense, he's negative outs above average. So when you look at like the defensive metrics there too, like he's typically someone who exceeds in that area, and he's below average. So like in theory, someone else who's an average defender would be playing better shortstop and have better results at the plate. So I'm over Trevor Story experience. I don't know what they do with him because you would have to get rid of David Hamilton to make room for whoever they bring up to replace Trevor Story. I'm fine with that, but like then you lose your speedy guy. Like, so I mean,
funny Trevor Story nugget, aside from the fact that we all like him as a person, but it's starting to become very, very frustrating on the diamond. He, I believe, has the highest OPS hitting in a 4-hole. Like we don't have a cleanup hitter.
Yeah.
Like Trevor Story, I think is Willier has not done well when he's been put in the 4-hole. Other guys, Campbell, that they moved up into the 4-hole. Casas was there at some point earlier in the season. Trevor Story is our best hitter in the 4-hole. That's a freaking problem. Like that's
really bad.
When I talk about roster construction, and I'm going to keep hammering this home because I feel like the media just wanted to crap on Devers for 2 weeks. So now I'm going to kind of throw it a little bit on the front office and Breslow a little bit. You guys have a job to do as well. And if you need to make a change, you need to make a change. And let's figure this out.
Yeah. We got to get We got to get those guys moving. I just the only way I can see that making sense, is they just hate DFAing guys. So there has to be an injury need for like bringing someone up. As much as I hate to say it, so Vaughn Grissom, by the way, guys, in case you're waiting on Vaughn Grissom to come up at any point, apparently he looks awful. His numbers in AAA only look good on fastballs that are less than 93
Really?
miles an hour. Anything
Yeah.
over 93 miles an hour, he has
Shit.
like a 500 OPS.
Oh shit. That could be why
so-
he's not getting the call.
Yeah, he's basically been feasting on slop, like AAA slop. And if he's any like breaking balls, he doesn't look good against. And then his
And-
thing on like any sort of velocity looks
And
just bad.
what did Chris Sale do? Oh, he won the Cy Young.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna face him in our
Facing
next
tomorrow
game.
night. Oh, yeah,
And,
back to
yeah,
back.
tomorrow night.
History. We're
Yeah,
making
yeah,
history tomorrow
a
night.
little bit of history there, right? Facing
Mhm.
both Cy Young winners from both leagues back to
And
back
we
games.
destroyed today. We still lost that game. So, hey, 2025 Red Sox.
It's true. It's true. And we'll probably put up 4 earned runs against Chris Sale.
Why don't you
Actually,
do it?
no.
Nah,
I
love
just
it.
I don't want to turn this season into an accountability, like the Spider-Man meme where everybody's
Yeah.
pointing at each
Oh,
other,
yeah, yeah.
right? Where like Core's pointing at the players pointing at Core's pointing at the front office players, front office Core. Like I don't want this season's narrative,
Mhm.
and it's slowly becoming that of the where do we place the blame? Sorry, I had a brain fart for a second. Where do we place the blame here? Right?
Mhm.
Because I think they all deserve their own fair shot. I
Yeah.
think in a weak AL that is all of a sudden not looking that weak. The Sox don't have the luxury to have just a drama-filled May of finger pointing and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we got a couple guys healthy, or we're moving, or we're using the injury spots to do what we have to do. No, like you need to get it out of their mind that this team is better than a 500 baseball club.
Mhm.
Like you need to start
Yeah.
implementing that. Someone needs to say it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like if you get hurt, I'm sorry, the team shouldn't have to sit around and wait for you. You should be
Correct.
replaced with the best possible person to replace you,
Yeah.
and not just someone to get you by until the
Yeah.
injury is over. Like
And Sogard looked decent, but how is Sogard your stopgap? How is Romy Gonzalez the stopgap? I love that they're just not playing Toro, because why should we be? But it's like that's my problem, and like that's when Raffy said the things he said, being like, "Do your job, I will do my job. You've already taken me from one job and put me in another job. Now you want to take me and put me in another job." And I understand there's people like, "Oh, be a team player," and I'm like, honestly, a part of me is like, I'm gonna say it now. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Like, he's being paid to do exactly what he's doing. And it's literally not his fault that Tristan Casas' knee exploded. And suddenly he has to
no.
take over there. So it's like there's so many people that are just like giving him shit. And he's just going out there and had a little bit of a struggle because he got a late start, didn't really get the spring he needed. And now he's just doing Rafael Devers things. I'm sorry. It's like, it just drives me up a wall.
To bring it back to the series, like I said, getting swept is never ideal. You in a 162, you always want to take one. You always want to just nab one, steal one somewhere, right? Obviously, you want to win the series, but what have you. So, my biggest issue is I don't want that deflated feeling going into a Braves team, right? Of you're going to be playing good baseball teams. Like you're going to be playing good baseball teams, and let's right the ship now, shake it up, do something. Because if you stay stagnant when it comes to first base, if you stay stagnant when it comes to the injury list and calling up some of these kids that are absolutely raking down in AAA and the big name prospects, if it's not going out, I understand we can't really discuss the trade market right now because we don't really know what it is, and especially for first base. But something has to happen. We can't just sit here on our, hands under our ass being like, well, we're just a 500 team for the last half of a decade. So this is the narrative.
This is what we are. Yeah, we're the third most valued franchise in baseball with one of the richest owners in the sport. But eh, we play in a cathedral. Everybody's gonna come see games at Fenway. I'm gonna make my money. I don't know as a person, if I like somebody was like, here's billions of dollars and you can go and purchase the Boston Red Sox, Bailey. I'd be like, all right, let's do this. And I'm gonna blow half that money to try to get a winning team there. Cause I just don't, as a fan, I don't like to lose. And I get John Henry's not a fan, but it would drive me up a wall. My pride would just be shattered. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't care because he's so rich. I just know as a prideful person, I'd be like, I need a winner.
The Red Sox have, I believe, 11 blown saves this year, right? 11 blown saves, I think, leads the major, something like that. They're 14 and 18 against teams above 500. It doesn't feel that way. Like it doesn't feel like it should even be that close. I'm glad it is, and like I said, I felt like they were throwing punches back when the Tigers would hit them in the series.
Yeah.
But you're gonna. If you're going to do anything, just be 500 against teams over 500. The rest will take care of the rest. You got to be a 500 team. And when you have 11 blown saves out there and you're 4 games under 500 against teams over 500, I'm surprised I didn't stumble on that. All of a sudden, it doesn't sound that bad. Does that make sense? Do I sound crazy?
I think I'm understanding what you're saying, because like that's where I'm thinking. It's like everything we're watching, and why I'm so frustrated is
like it feels like it should be so much worse.
Yeah, yes, but also they feel like they could be so much better. And there's all
Yes.
these missed opportunities where you're just like, what is going on? And you're just like, man, we could have like 10 more friggin' wins in certain things. And it's like driving you up a wall. And you're starting to see the Yankees pull away now. And there was a time where they were just like letting you get there. And now they're just, you know what? I don't even think that team is that good, even though there's people out there that are saying like that batted ball data that I don't even understand. And I like analytics are showing that the Yankees are the best team because they hit the ball and mash the shit out of it, and they allow weak contact, which is proving that they're the best team in baseball, not even just like in the American League. That like from those metrics, they're better than the Dodgers, and that to me is just like laughable in the end. But again, those type of metrics don't make sense to me, and I like the certain amount of metrics that I can like understand. Those ones are crazy. But even if like it's like, oh, okay, so say things happen and the Yankees really take off, there was a time where they let you get in there and you didn't take advantage of that.
100%.
And that's no.
And you know what's let's put some numbers to that, because I love that, Bailey. So right now, just went on Fangraphs app, by the way. Always got to plug the Fangraphs app.
I love Fangraphs so much.
Yankees sitting right now, playoff percentage 88.9. The Red Sox have now fallen, and I believe this could be a new low over the streak that we've had of 34.3. And it should not be that big of a discrepancy.
No, it really should.
Like, I'm sorry, it should not be that big of a discrepancy. And that's what makes it frustrating, which is so contradictory to what I just said 5 minutes ago, and I apologize for that. But it's just like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like you said, it's like, where did they start? Do they, just keep plugging along? And I mean, the definition of insanity is continuing to attempt the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to change unless you do something about it. And unless they truly think that they're just getting unlucky, if that's all they think is like, this will even itself out, like we're just getting unlucky, then they're going to keep doing the same exact thing.
That's what I'm afraid.
But I mean, I love Roman Anthony to be called up tomorrow. He's not going to be, because you know why? They're unveiling their City Connects, and they care more about the publicity of one thing at a time. And if they're launching new City Connects on Friday, they sure as heck ain't announcing Roman Anthony's going to be, coming up to the majors on Friday. That would be too distracting.
Imagine though, if you could unveil the City Connects with Roman Anthony in them. Holy shit. I think Red Sox Nation's minds would explode.
Well, you lost me. As soon as you said something that made sense, then you lost me.
Yeah.
Because imagine, like, we'd be like, everybody would go out and buy that effing thing. They'd be like, "Oh my god, he's getting called up. What a fun ass way to do it." But like you said, that's too fun. That's my problem with this organization is that I understand we're very historic, but we've never been the bump in the log Yankees where like you
No.
can't have facial hair. But we've been kind of close where it's almost like we're gonna like cut your fun off at a certain point. Like there was times like 2013 was like a blast, but outside of like 2013 and maybe a little bit of 2021, I feel like fun has been kind of sucked, and it's a little bit of this organization being kind of snooty. And I'll be like the first person to say I'm snooty when I go to games. I hate when I go to a ballpark and like they're like, let's make noise. No, your fans should know like
Yeah.
let's make noise. Like I hate that, but there should still be like a little semblance of fun. And I feel like there's a little bit because like it's like, oh, we're such a historic franchise. Can we have fun? I'm like, you can also be historic franchise and have some fun. And that's like a little bit that kind of bugs me. Like,
I
let's have
see.
fun.
I'm old enough. I'm old enough to know and appreciate when Fenway Sports Group took over, and I want to say the first half of their ownership now, tenure, was a lot of chaos and a lot of fun, and also two fucking rings and the greatest comeback in the history of sports. And you had guys like Millar and Ramirez and other guys that we won't even name because we're like they're such scumbags now as individuals. But
Unfortunately.
you have to understand when Fenway Sports Group took over the Boston Red Sox up until this point now in 2025, there all of a sudden there was like a business shift, right? Where like 18 happened, and then all of a sudden the mindset was
You're right.
we're going to operate like a business. We are going to operate like a business. We are only going to do these things this certain way, this, that, like it, like what the frick happened? Like 13 was straight chaos. If you
It
look
was
at
so
that
fun.
roster up and down,
It was
so
so
much
fun.
fun. Mike Napoli's smoking heaters in the middle of the street with his shirt off. Like in those 2000 teams as well. We had Bobby Valentine as our manager at one point.
What
Like
a season.
I'm
What a
sorry, it was
season.
chaos, but it was
It was.
also there was a craziness, and and then all of a sudden
Chicken and
over the
beer in
last
like
few years,
2011, like crazy.
chicken and beer. Now,
Seems
now all of a sudden we've just become this very, very mundane. Like, yeah, we'll let you keep your facial hair and your crazy tattoos or whatever. I have them as well. Not knocking them, but like the way that they come at the game from such a just like we're now going to operate as not that fun franchise that was so polar opposite to the fucking pinstripes. Like now all of a sudden we're going to like kind of do what they do, but we're going to dumb it down and operate like the Rays. So we're now all of a sudden going to be a professional franchise and this and no chaos and no nothing and this and that. Although they did sign Aroldis Chapman this year, but
Little chaos.
but right, we're not even going to do it like the Yankees do it. We're going to operate like a bottom third of Major League Baseball. Like owners who want to pocket their money and just run off and not invest it back into the team. And I'm not saying because they did go out and get Bregman and they did go out and make a splash for Crochet. So I do think, but like, where's the spunk? I guess that's what I'm trying to get at. Where's the chaos? Where do we shake this up? Is it going to be Devers? Is Devers going to be our chaos now?
Maybe.
I just wonder if the issue isn't even like the talent at this point because I think we talked about like the bullpen
Absolutely
obviously
not.
leaves
Yeah.
room to be desired there. The starting rotation, when Bueller's not on the IR and Cutter's not on the IR, like we actually have tons of options. And Dick Fitz,
Yes.
nobody's even heard of Dick Fitz. Is he still alive? I mean, he's given thumbs up in the dugout every single time the dugout camera pans to him, but we got so many starting pitchers that I don't even care that Tanner Houck, like the reason why it's so frustrating that Tanner Houck was still thrown out there was because he looks so bad and there's so many other options. Like get him out of the rotation immediately, right? But then instead of calling up Luis Guerrero with that spot, instead they say we're going to call up Cooper Criswell, which like I get because he's stretched out and they had to burn Sean Newcomb the other night. I get it.
MVP.
But
Jesus.
I don't have to like it.
Yeah,
I don't have to like it. And Luis Guerrero, who has a career 0 ERA, by the way, like I don't know if that's been stated across 2 seasons. He's never given up a run. And they're just like, yeah, we don't really need you up here.
Yeah.
You can go back down.
Weirdly with Guerrero, I think it's like they're looking very finely at analytics in AAA. and certain
Mhm.
things are showing them that it's like, oh, he doesn't deserve this position. But like you said, the position is a 0 earned run average in the majors. So everybody else is blowing their ass out. So let him do it too. Like, what are you
I mean,
afraid of?
obviously, it comes down to like, okay, Greg Weissert has more experience in the major league. So who do they think is going to be more like over the course of 60 appearances? Do they think that Greg Weissert is someone that they know what they're going to get? Or do they want to like roll the ball on Luis Guerrero, who's been good, but is he going to stay good? Right. And so then they
Same.
say, well, they both have options. Those are pretty much the only guys you can option down.
Yeah.
So you're choosing between, Greg Weissert and Luis Guerrero. And at that point, like I'd want them both, but you're not going to get both of them with the way it's set up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's driving me nuts about this convo a little bit, and I love it, and Guerrero is literally 0 ERA. Is I think our third episode this year, we talked about how talent was not an issue with the Boston Red Sox, the 2025 Boston Red Sox. It's how they're constructing the lineup, how they're
Mm-hmm.
constructing
Mhm.
the team, how they're utilizing the injured list, how they're utilizing bullpen, starting pitching, this and that. And now we're now recording our 10th episode or whatever together, and we're still talking about the same shit. So like the good thing about that is yes, it is May 14th, right? The bad thing
Mhm.
about this is we haven't shown anything fucking different. And like
Yeah.
that's what's so frustrating, because this is not a talent issue. This
No.
team is, when you look at this on paper, and especially the additions that we have waiting in the wings, on paper, barring the crazy Casas injury, like this is a good baseball team.
Mm-hmm.
With
Every
three
major,
exceptions: Connor Wong, Abraham
yeah,
Toro,
yeah.
and Tanner Houck.
Yeah.
Correct, absolutely. But guess what? We needed until May 14th to figure that out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we needed that, and there is going to be hiccups, and like I said, there is going to be bottoms in a 162. I will continue to say that. I believe that to my
Of
core.
course. Of
If
course.
this is our bottom, let's have it in mid-May,
Mhm.
and not when hopefully we're playing, meaningful games in the middle of August. You know,
No, it's so true. Because, like, I'm wearing 04 right now. Like, they were hovering around like a 500 baseball team
yeah,
until they really started to go off. And there's plenty of teams historically, like 2019. Weren't the Washington Nationals like atrocious? Weren't they like 9 and
yeah.
like 38 or something crazy? Again, I understand the rotation that they had then was just great and they figured things out. So it is baseball, like you're saying, Kevin. Like anything can happen,
Yeah.
and I'm still not gonna give up. But it's just like we've just been seeing since
But it's insanity,
2022
like
the
Matt said.
same thing. Yeah,
Like Matt said, it's insanity,
yeah,
and we need to break the insanity.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think the game planning has been awful. The
Mm-hmm.
pitching
Yeah,
approach to the other teams has been awful. The hitting approach, which is leading to the strikeouts. You see it. The games where we don't strike out, we win. It's like almost every
Ooh,
time. It's
amazing.
crazy.
also my favorite stat: runners in scoring position.
Hmm.
They've win almost every game when they're batting through over 300 with runners in scoring position. You have to do it when they actually get there.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know if if the shakeup is a coaching shakeup. Like, do we need to bring
Bye,
someone else
Jason
in?
Veritek.
Bye, Jason Veritek, maybe,
Sorry.
or someone else. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know what the fix is there, but there's a couple of roster pieces that could be tweaked around for sure.
Mhm.
But I think that people are too comfortable right now. And I think I
Mhm.
remember Carabas talking about this last season where he said that like the rookies that have been around a little bit and they come up and they play for a little while, they're like way too comfortable with
Yep.
like where they're at. And there's no one to be like, hey, you got to stop being so comfortable with this brand of baseball. Like, you're better
Mhm.
than this. Like, we're better than this. Like, they haven't had that.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like that with like the coaching staff, with the position.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
everyone seems to be just comfortable with like riding it out.
Riding it out And I love that. That was freaking perfect. A perfect way of putting it. We're just everybody just riding it out, riding it out. We were talking about guys like, Trevor Story and Sedan. And I guess I owe Sedan an apology because he is playing
Mhm.
slightly better. I know, it is what it is, but he really, to me, is your Swiss Army knife, and then Roman is your starting
Yeah.
center fielder, or Durant, or however you want to shake it up. But like, what the funny thing is we're also talking about so many different avenues for them to right the ship. Like, it's not like we're sitting here and we're like, okay, it's either we have to fix starting pitching or we have to fire our hitting coach, right? Like, those are our only two options. We're sitting here with 10, 12, 15 different options that this team can make. Just
Yeah.
pick one of them. Pick one of them.
Yep.
Yeah. And it's interesting because it's like we see people struggling that didn't struggle like last year. Like, Duran was top 10 WAR last year. And like Matt's saying, like there seems to be like a finger issue and things like that. And he keeps like tweaking. And it's like maybe he needs an IL and then he writes it and he comes back and he's like the
Yes.
Duran of like last year, which would be amazing. Because otherwise you're like looking at somebody who I think at this point it's like Anthony has like a 150 WRC plus down in Worcester, and you're like, okay, what more does he need to do before he gets up here and then he adjusts and his challenges are at the major league level, because that's the challenge he needs at this point. And it's like you look at Sedan and then I look at a Savant and I'm like, wow, there's a lot of red in that Savant. But then I also look and see an 84 WRC plus, and I'm like, where is, like, who is the person that is going to go down to allow Roman Anthony? Because we're getting to a point where I'm like, I don't care what you have at the major league like level. I don't think right now at least two of the three outfielders are better than Roman Anthony.
Yeah.
And like that's the problem we're having. But that's like a kind of a good problem, but also it's a
Yeah.
problem.
We have a lot of
Ironically,
good
the one we
problems.
wanted
Mhm.
to trade away at the beginning of the offseason is our best outfielder.
I
Like,
never
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
that, but I always thought
yeah,
that that was the one that was going to make the most sense for this because of the loyalty of Alex Cora. Like, Duran's my guy. We signed
mhm.
this extension. So, of course, this one who's probably the best of your three outfielders is going to be the one we're going to trade. So, I'm glad we didn't because,
Yep.
damn.
I mean, I could still see him getting moved at the deadline for somebody,
Please
that could
don't.
that his value's never been higher if they are truly like
Yeah, so
if
it was the same
they
with Duran last year, and they didn't sell high on
well
that.
they
So maybe they're going to sell high now. You're right. You're not.
I'm not saying I'm glad that they didn't because I like Duran, but
I
at the
don't
same
hate it.
time,
Yeah,
business side of things, like something has to go, and these guys
it
like
has to. Mhm.
I don't know. Like, I'll be. This will be a test for Breslow here to be like, wow, I really went out and convinced ownership to spend big and get these guys, and look at what you're doing. You're doing the same stuff. So I'm sure he's fed up with it. And Henry finally is paying attention. Right, he's flying out
Yeah.
to Kansas City
No
to talk to
shit.
the players one on one. He's been quoted by his friends as saying that he refound his love for baseball and he cares again. So
Finally.
he's paying attention and then he's going to watch this brand of baseball. Like, I'm sure he's giving Craig some crap too about it. So I,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we get something different, but there was only a couple of moments in this series. I do want to make sure that
Mhm.
we touch base on. The best of them was a positive, which was today. And it was the craziest catch I've ever seen. Um, I I mean, can we just talk about how insane it is that I'm assuming you saw that the catch that we're referring to, Kevin.
yes, yeah, I did.
The it should have been a home run. First
Mhm.
off,
Mhm.
Liam Hendricks, prone to some hard contact. He I don't even know if people are going to remember that he pitched a scoreless inning in this game. Like,
Should
it
have
was
done it yesterday.
he should have definitely done it yesterday. He should have been called in in the 11th inning. But yeah, it's a long fly ball, and Wilyer Abreu times it up perfectly. He's sitting underneath it, jumps over the fence, pops out of his glove, and bounces directly into Cedar Rafaela's chest, and he brings the catch in. I don't think I've ever seen a 9-8 put out, which is how they scored it.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just like one of the like their reactions was priceless. It was like watching a bunch of kids again. Like they were
Oh,
cracking
Sadan
up
turned around and
laughing.
he put his yeah, Sadan turned around and put his hands up, right? Like almost like it was yeah, you're right. It was like watching like a little kid. He turned around and he was just like he couldn't believe that it hit him in the chest and all of a sudden, wound up in his hands. He's just like, "Holy shit, that just happened." Okay, cool.
Yeah. Abreu's reaction was hilarious. They all did like the Cutter is King, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
double hands up in the air. So that game was awesome. We're gonna see that highlight for years. Like that'll go down
Oh
as one
yeah.
of the best catches that you're ever gonna see in Red Sox history. Like crazy stuff.
Well, like they say, I
Um,
get by with a little help from my friends. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
that was something I wanted to highlight in this series.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of the starting pitching performances, I would say that the bullpen was like really good in this series. Like I hate to say it, but like the majority of the
Dude,
bullpen
Wilson's
was
looking so good. Like Wilson had good
Mhm.
metrics.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wilson, he didn't pitch in the first game, obviously, but he pitched yesterday, pitched today.
Mm-hmm.
But like yesterday, other than Garrett Whitlock, who gave up 3 runs,
Yeah.
Whitlock not looking so good lately. I don't know what he needs to do to
The stuff is
get
still
things right.
nasty. That's the problem. Like if you look
That's
at every
the
metric, like you look at his savant page, you're like, this guy is nasty. So you're right, Matt. Like what needs to happen? Like,
Yeah. Yeah, I think his stuff is still electric. Like I said that
mhm. Yeah, he's
yesterday
nasty.
after watching him come in and give up a 3-run home run. Like I thought he still looked great.
Yeah.
Bayo in
it,
that game only went 5 and or 4 and 2/3, but he only gave up 2 runs. He just
2 runs.
was hit throwing. Let me see what his strike throwing percentage was. It was not good.
It's real bad. I feel
Um,
like he's like watching Daisuke Matsuzaka 2.0, where it's like he'll load the
It's
bases, bunch of balls, and somehow kind of get out of it, but still like you're like, oh
yeah, it's a roller coaster with Bayo right now.
yeah.
And it's you got to hop on and just watch and see what he does. But back to Whitlock is
Hmm.
we were talking about the confidence meter after the first series with the Rangers that Garrett Whitlock was finally home, right? Like finally in the
mhm.
bullpen,
Look good,
finally in
yeah.
the spot. No more, hey, you're going to be a starter. Hey, you're going to do
Hmm.
this. Hey, you're going to do that. And we were so excited about that because the stuff is there.
Hmm.
It's just
Mhm.
I don't know if it's
Definitely.
a missing issue, and when he's missing, he's just missing bad,
Hmm.
because there is filth there, and if it flattens out, guys are just kind of peppering it. But when it comes to like a trust meter on Whitlock, I think we'll be okay.
Oh yeah.
I believe Tanner's in a way worse spot than
It's
Whitlock.
bad.
Let's
It's
be real. Like I
Yeah.
think if we're splitting hairs, it's not even close
Yeah.
what Tanner Hawk's doing.
bad. Hmm.
No. No, you're 100% right, and that's why you see that Whitlock is still on the team, and Tanner Houck is not. Um, yeah, I mean there was a shot of Tanner Houck literally sitting in the dugout, like with his hood up, crying.
Yeah, wasn't he
Like
like chewing like on like no.
he
He's
was
like
just he looked miserable. It looks
yeah.
awful. But I did want to say one thing on him real quick. I think he may be a werewolf because I don't know if you guys knew this, but it was a full moon on the 12th, which was
Mm.
the day
Ooh.
of his start, right? He gives up all those runs, absolutely terrible. It's a 2 1/3 inning, 9 hits, 11 earned runs, 3 walks, 2 home runs, ERA up to an 8.04 on the season. That was the day of the full moon. You guys were like, oh, well, that's crazy because this is the second time this year that he's had a blow up start. Well, when was his last blow up start, you might ask? And
Get out.
was it also on full moon? His last blow up start was April 14th. Guess when the last full
Get the
moon was?
fuck. Get the fuck
A-
out of here.
April 12th. So we are
Oh,
talking about literally a month apart, just about. And
Hmm.
yeah.
the moon cycles back around, and Tanner Houck somehow can't throw strikes. And that he gave up 11 earned runs in that game, too. So
He's got some
crazy.
like equilibrium thing going on inside his head. He feels like the earth is off its axis by like a couple meters.
I'm just saying, man, I'm a firm believer that because our bodies are
That was
70% water.
Listen, I gotta say something, Matt. That what you just came up with blew my fucking mind, dude. You just pulled that out of fucking. You just pulled a moon cycle on Tanner Houck and why he's not pitching well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that they need to let him calm down a little bit, chew on some garlic, and
That
then
was fucking
um
wild.
yeah. So the it's like the Brian Bayo and Day games all over
Yeah,
again.
that
Yes.
man
Yeah.
can
Yeah. Yeah.
take it.
Yeah.
This is the Tanner Houck and full moons. So they just it's like every couple of weeks, like they put him on the 10-day, 14-day. They let him rest up till the moon goes back to normal. Get 2 week of starts, put him back on the IL.
Yep.
Elbow
You
inflammatory.
get
Yeah.
another Maddox from him.
Yeah. 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 So that's my that's what I got on Tanner Houck. But I mean, other than the offense actually looking good in this series, like I don't really have a lot of comments.
Mm,
I just wanted to make sure we shouted out that catch today and Christian Campbell's
great
home
catch.
run in the 11th inning. Like
Yeah.
he's been really struggling.
Yeah.
Um,
Because he's a rookie. We
just
allow this. Like,
yes, we do
so
allow
many
it.
people
And
don't. Like they're shitting on him, and I'm like, what are you doing? This man is 22. Like, he needs
Yeah.
to adjust.
yeah, it's his first. He's hitting a bazillion times better than Casas did in his rookie, April and May.
Mhm.
He's hitting better than Dustin Pedroia did in his rookie season when he won Rookie of the Year. Um,
Dun, dun, dun.
like he's gonna be fine. He's got 5 home runs in the major leagues. You know how long it took
More
Connor
than
Wong to
fine.
hit 5 home runs last year? Like he's gonna be fine.
160 games.
I
Ugh,
no,
Connor
it
Wong.
definitely didn't take that many games, but
No,
yeah.
Connor Wong.
And I also want to shout out Carlos Narvaez for just being the truth.
Oh man, thank you, New York. Oh, you're cool. You're leading the division. We got Carlos Narvaez. So
I
thanks.
actually wonder where he stands in Rookie of the Year, like betting odds right now, because we're not a gambling show. But
But if
but-
we were,
We've
come
been
at us,
known to
DraftKings.
gamble.
We could be.
there's no way that he has worse betting odds than Jason Dominguez at this point. Let me see.
Didn't Jason Dominguez just get hurt too? No. Oswaldo Cabrera got hurt. Yeah, I was like,
All right.
it's not like he's relevant for the Yankees.
So that's crazy. There's no way this is current. Let's see.
Bet on him.
May
Watch him win the
12th?
damn thing.
Okay. Hold on. I got to find something that compares them all. Because they're currently saying that the current favorite to win Rookie of the Year is Jacob Wilson from the Athletics, who's batting like 380.
He'll fail.
Yeah. He's having a good season, but Christian Campbell's currently second betting favorites. Campbell has he's doing pretty well compared to his opening odds. He opened up with plus 1100 odds to win it, and now he's at plus 350.
Wow.
But Roman Anthony is still the 5th best odds in the American
right.
League.
That's why they're
win
terrified to
that
bring him
award.
up.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
they're terrified. They're like, oh, he's gonna go off. And a part of me is like, a part of me with them being so afraid proves to me that they have no intention or they can't sign him to some crazy deal like a honestly, I don't give a shit. Just give him like Bobby Witt Jr. money. Like, I don't care. It's not my money. So it's like proving that they're just terrified enough to not do that because they're so scared of losing that year of control. So, who cares? Bring him up right now. Give him Bobby Witt money, and then you don't have to worry. And you know what you could do? He could win Rookie of the Year, and then you get a pick. Just spend money.
So Carlos Narvaez is not even on the list yet, but I remember
Oh,
it took a while for Austin Wells to show up on the list when he got called up. So we'll see. But being the best defensive catcher in baseball with a higher, he has a better WRC plus this year than Austin Wells does. So, I mean, kind of a steal for us, honestly.
Thanks. Thanks,
Like,
New York.
I will overlook the fact that he was pitching in that giant blow-up game with Tanner Houck.
Eh,
Or catching,
eh,
I mean.
I
But
think
actually,
that was
wait,
the
was
Tanner
he?
Houck pressure.
Oh, no, I take it back. That was Connor Wong. So that's
Oh,
actually,
was it?
I take it back.
Then do
He
take it all back.
he did play in that game, but it was to pinch hit and play DH for Devers. So that was where that happened.
Yeah. And Connor Wong probably blew the game today. Like, I'm not saying like walk the leadoff batter. I hate walking the leadoff batter as much as I hate Aroldis Chapman. But also,
You're right.
if you don't walk,
His
like, yes,
frame
I get
job.
that.
No, it was his frame job 100% because those pitches that in that first at bat, Chapman got absolutely screwed by Connor Wong's framing on that game. On like,
Yeah.
I
And
gotta
you have the framing and you have his like throwing shit. So
Yeah.
like Connor Wong is the issue for that whole thing. I bet like you're right. If Darius is out there, I'm not saying we win this game, but I'm saying we get past that 9th.
Oh
You
yeah,
know?
yeah, no doubt. I'm looking to see. I'm gonna see if I can find the actual like pitch tracking for that at bat because I'm pretty sure that. Okay. So they were like, I guess you could say they were the first pitch and the third pitch in that at bat were accurately called balls, but I have no doubt that with the way this ump had been calling them the rest of the game, that if Narvaez was catching, he would have pulled him in. Like they're literally
so close.
like
Yeah, oh,
inches
damn,
away.
Yeah.
And then that
1
one
and
over
3 could
there,
have been strikes, yeah.
like 100% Connor Wong is the reason that was not a strike. And so yeah, he had the terrible throw, which then caused like a bazillion years replay to see if he overran the bag and didn't tag it again, and that was confusing.
Yeah. So I just feel like that's the thing, and like it just drives me insane. Where it's like, and I understood in the situation where like, okay, we're trying to win this game. Yeah, you're gonna pinch hit for David Hamilton, but then it just shows you in like the next like. Also, we scored a lot. We had great offense in this series, but there were also times where it's like, damn, if you would just. It feels like the situational hitting, it like kind of just never comes to fruition like the way that we want it, and that's another thing that kind of like drives me insane.
Yeah, like when we had second and third, like 1 out and didn't get any runs. Like
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're like, oh, they scored a lot of runs, but then you're like, but they could have still scored more, which would have been more of that nail in the coffin. I just want to, I want to hammer that nail in, you know?
Yeah. Well, we should probably look ahead because we got City Connects coming out, right? We got a day off on Thursday, but City Connects should be announced tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then they should be debuted on Friday against the Atlanta Braves. Right? I am excited for this game. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you because I want to see how sexy these jerseys look, and I'm just want to know what the pants look like, what do the hats look like.
Yeah.
Gotta see them. And then it's Chris Sale versus Garrett Crochet, like game 1.
It's gonna be good.
Talk about
a good game.
Former lefty from the White Sox versus former lefty from the White Sox.
Who came to the Red Sox. One has achieved the greatness of the championship, and we need that other one to get it soon.
Yep. So that's game 1. Game 2, I know that we have. I saw reports. Cora said Bayo's pitching in the upcoming series. Let me see who else is pitching.
Maybe game 3 for him.
Let's see. Bayo. All right. So Bayo will pitch Sunday.
Okay. That makes sense.
Versus Walker. Bueller's set to come back Tuesday. So who's the
decent 3?
It must be Giolito. So it must be Crochet, Giolito, Bayo.
Yeah.
Damn, Giolito looks so good in that, like, they're mixing that extra pitch in, just was like, having that third pitch to go to just was like, this is what you can be when you're more than a 2-pitch pitcher. Oh, you could be good. So hopefully we get that again, because he looked good.
Maybe it was just the rain that was made why he looked so bad. Like that could have legit been the reason. Like obviously Evaldi looked great in the rain, so you can't just say it was the rain.
Of course, but it's also Nathan Evaldi. Yeah, would love to have had him back.
But like he didn't look like that same person at all in this last outing, and in the first outing he looked much better than he had. So now 2 of his 3 starts have been good. I'm
Yeah.
kind of willing to be like a little bit longer of a leash, but
Yeah, sure. And he's literally coming off injury. Like Evaldi's also not coming off of like an injury. So it's
Yeah.
like who knows how you're feeling coming off an injury, playing in inclement weather. Whereas Evaldi's like, fuck it. I've had 2 TJs, I'm good to go. Like you know, and at this point it's like 2 Tommy Johns also for Giolito, but he's also not as separated from them. So it's like
And
yeah.
Giolito, not for anything. I mean, the Tommy Johns were because of how many innings he was pitching per season. You know, he was a workhorse when he was
Workhorse,
on
yeah.
the mound and healthy, an absolute workhorse. The guy received Cy Young votes.
Yeah.
You know, this is not a guy like we had to scrape off the street to be like, hey, listen, you know, can you be a fifth starter for us? No, we gave him the 1 year with the one option, hoping, not knowing that he was going to need, you know, Tommy John
Yeah,
again.
that
But
that sucks.
he listen, Walker Bueller on a prove it deal, and you got Giolito on a prove it deal. If there's not a freaking hurricane on Saturday, you
Should
know,
be good.
should be good.
Mm-hmm.
well, let's look at the weather while we're here then, because
The weather looks like shit. I will say coming up.
let's see. Let's see. Sunday. Wait, what day is he pitching? Saturday in Boston? Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. The soft coming like weather Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Wait.
all look
Someone
poopy.
look up what time is the game.
Yeah.
Is it 4 o'clock?
Hold on.
Let's see. On Saturday? Let's check it.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday, 7:15.
Whew, wow. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
Well, it's supposed to stop raining by 8 p.m. So it is
Alright.
going to be raining all afternoon though, leading up to
Alright.
that point as of right now.
I hate the rain.
Well,
Ugh.
how do you feel about rain in California? Do you actually like it, or
No,
like-
I actually I move like California definitely needs rain. I won't say it. They don't. But I like there being no rain. Like it's like I'm like, oh, this is great. When it rains, I still get angry, even if I'm like, oh, I know they need this. And there is always sort of the rainy season of California, but it's still like I'm like, oh, but I'm back home now, like hanging out and visiting family, and I'm like, oh, the next 4 or 5 days are just gonna be like rained out. I'm like, that's so poopy. You know, I want to enjoy Boston in May. You know, it can be beautiful here.
fair
But
enough? Fair
unfortunately-
enough. Yeah, they don't have anywhere for the rainwater to go, so that kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know how I feel going into this series. Like, I think I'm just gonna say 1 out of 3. I think like they win the Friday start. They've been undefeated on Fenway home openers.
They're
Um,
gonna win with the new City
They're-
Connects. Come on.
yeah,
Right?
that's what I'm
Again,
thinking. Like
yeah.
they're 3-0 on Fridays at Fenway. They debuting the new City Connects, and they've got Garrett Crochet on the mound. So if you need a stopper, you got at least that going for you. I'm going 1 out of 3. Bailey, what are you thinking for predictions for this series coming up?
I'm hoping 2 out of 3. I know Atlanta's been playing better than their horrible start, but like, man, again, it would be great. I mean, that's gonna be a hell of a fun game on Friday, like Sale versus Crochet. So I'm excited, but I feel like we can maybe get the advantage of that. And I'm like, if Giolito pitches anything close to what he did in his last start, like he was like in the 7th inning, like that was a great, like that's exactly everything you want. I think we can do that. Bayo is to me gonna be the one start that like could be a little hairy, and mainly it's just because like it frustrates me so much when his stuff is so good and then he just kind of like nibbles. Just throw your best stuff out there, man. That's what aces do. And I never once said he was an ace, but like that's the thing is like Giolito, like back when he was pitching really well, like didn't give a shit. Like he just threw his shit, and like I was even seeing him throw his shit. Crochet will throw his shit. Just throw your shit, man. Be like beat my best shit, and that's why I like those guys out there. I don't want you nibbling. So I'm thinking 2 out of 3. I'm really hoping we can get 2 out of 3. We're home. We're gonna be wearing the City Connects for one of the games, and who knows if we'll be wearing the other City Connects too. It's gonna be interesting to see the rotation of these new ones coming in. So I'm excited. And I'm wondering, it's like, how are we feeling? Are we thinking all green Monster Green, or do we want white pants? It's gonna be kind of interesting to see what it's gonna be.
That's the thing is like I've seen some of these crazy color combinations.
Mhm.
Like, what was it? The Colorado Rockies went with green pants.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I could see them going something crazy like, oh yeah, it's literally all green.
Yeah.
Grays would really make sense. Somebody threw out there that it was like, what if it's like the color of the dirt of the warning track? Like a
Hmm.
Well, I think
brown.
Section 10 was also talking about them being blue. And I was like,
Blue.
oh, yeah.
I mean,
That'd
they
be
said
weird.
I think they said the hats could maybe wear the blue.
Oh,
with,
maybe
but
the hats were blue. Is that what they were talking about? Oh.
Mhm.
yeah, they don't know yet though. But I mean, I like if it was just like the standard like
Yeah.
navy blue, maybe.
You know,
I
it's like
think
I'm
you got to
trying
go all green. I think you got to go
Yeah.
green cap, green pants. You got to rock the full green, and I think it would look super dope. Or even a white pant, green hat, green jersey.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's
I
gonna
think
be
that.
like the all green seems kind of cool. Like I think that feels cool.
Yeah, I think
But
that's kind of badass.
I like it.
Like the
Are
White
they that
Sox and the
adventurous?
all,
Oh
like
yeah,
the White Sox and the all black, like
looks good.
just going
Mhm.
like they're about to play prison ball, and but it's like it's
looks
dope.
good.
It's
It's sleek.
intimidating.
What about
It's
like
cool.
white pants but with green pinstripes?
I think that's
Yeah,
what
that's
like
that's
would
well. I
be-
don't think they would be. I hope they wouldn't just be solid white. I hope they would have like the green pinstripe going down the side.
at least
Well,
the
I mean,
side,
like
yeah.
I'm talking just
all pinstripe.
like all pinstripes.
Oh, all pinstripe. That would be dope.
That'd be funky looking. I just feel like it's gonna be like what we're seeing, and I think it's gonna be like what Kevin's saying, like a white pant with like that green going down the side. Because I don't think they're adventurous to go full green, even though the full green would be kind of badass.
Yeah, I agree. But at the same time, if you were just to know the history of the Boston Red Sox,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, yeah, they're gonna be putting out jerseys that are yellow and like
Yeah.
baby blue.
Yeah,
You'd be like, no, there's no way they're doing that.
never.
So maybe they'll surprise us, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll find out probably in a next 24 hours.
just want to know why they're controversial, Sam Kennedy. Why did you say they were controversial?
Yeah,
Like-
then the pants could be wild if they're gonna be super controversial.
Yeah, maybe they're see-through. They're transparent.
Yeah.
They're
Transparent. It's really
Or-
just cellophane. That's it.
they're
It's
really
gonna be
just
out
the regular
there.
white
True
pants. But
see-through. Or maybe the controversial thing is maybe Kev is hitting it and it's a pinstripe pants, right? What if that is the controversy of the pinstripe?
Could be.
That'd be wild,
be.
right? That's
What if it's like those sleepy pajamas that like kids wear where there's like graphic designs on the butt?
Yeah.
They're like
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
so
I
just
would-
Wally's.
It's just
Picture
like the
Wally on the
26.
pants.
It's just
Yeah.
the either Wally or all 26 players just sprayed all over
Honestly,
the pants.
a
you know?
Wally hat would fucking kill, dude. I would love it just to be Wally, like as the hat.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd
actually.
be cool. Like
Not
I would
gonna
love
lie.
it. I would love it.
Green monsters.
Exactly. The only thing
Those
I would
graphics
like
would
a
go.
little better about like what we're seeing, the only thing is like giving me, I've never been like the button up person. I've always been like back in like 75 when they had like the pullover. I've been a pullover person. If what we're seeing is like the mock up in a pullover, oh, I would love that. It just looks so
That
good.
could be sick. I saw someone do like a mock-up too, like where the logo was like a navy blue sock. So like
Oh.
instead of the B, it was like the older school like sock,
School
but it, like
sock, that'd be
navy
cool
blue.
too.
It's like okay, on like I think it was on a green hat that I saw in that particular design, but I was like, okay, I can get behind. I could definitely get behind that. But
Mhm.
either way, should be a good series. Kevin, what's your prediction?
Oh, we're gonna sweep.
I love your optimism.
Of
Always.
course.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you right now. Listen, Chris Hale. No animosity towards him. I mean, just won his first Cy Young. But listen, young kid from Chicago came over, had success. Crochet, young kid from Chicago comes over. The young buck gets the win. Okay, now we go to Giolito, right? What's Giolito got for us? Well, we got a little rain in the forecast. No big deal. It's not a fucking hurricane. Giolito goes out, he shoves for 7, another win. Now we got the wild card, right? Now we got Bayo who's yelling in the dugout again. I thought we were past that. I thought we grew up a little bit, but you know what? He only gave us 4 innings, right? And he was all over the fucking place. I think he tunes it in a little bit, almost like a little Sunday night baseball against the Yankees and just crushes the bottom of the zone and fucking just eats them up in 2 hours. You know, Bayo's
love
got
it.
that stuff. And
Yes,
I'm being a little comedic with this. I'm having a little fun with this, but we're gonna fucking sweep this series. That's it. Bottom line.
I'm here for it.
You might want to
Well,
cut that.
we may have to go back after the fact and edit that, but we'll see how it turns out. And I thought, I'm just gonna close this out with some final thoughts here. Like, my final thoughts is, even though we're not a betting podcast, get your Carlos Narvaez bets in right freaking now. Also, shout out to the Red Sox today for putting up 5 runs on Tarek Skubal and allowing Garrett Crochet to probably move ahead of him in the Cy Young ranking so far for this season. So, it's just every little bit that counts. That's pretty much it for my final thoughts. Oh, actually, I had one other thought. I went to the Red Sox Rangers game last Thursday. Fun game. Great time with the fam. And literally went down to the concourse as Rafael Devers hit his home run. And like saw people like looking around me, being like, "Oh, where?" And I'm like, "What's going on? Why is everyone looking out on the field?" And then I hear the home run siren going off, and I'm like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And I walk down and I see on the TV like Devers rounding the bases, and I'm like, "We literally walked down the exact second that he hit a home run." I couldn't
course.
believe it. So, anyways, that's my final thoughts. Kevin, what you got for final thoughts?
Sucks.
It's a solid one. What about you, Bailey? You got any final thoughts?
My final thoughts are the Red Sox need to renegotiate with Alex Bregman, because I'm so terrified that this is a one and done Adrian Beltre type thing where he just goes off into the sunset and gets that nice deal with a contending team. And I think this can be a contending team. I think it will be in the future. But that opt out is looming. It's the best he's ever played. He's even said this is the best I've ever played. And he could have, if Aaron Judge didn't exist, win an MVP already. So again, if Aaron Judge didn't exist, could be contending for an MVP once again. So I would like Alex Bregman to have like a shiny new deal. Those are my final thoughts.
That is like top of a Christmas list. Let's be honest. So, well, guys, it's been a pleasure. Glad to be back on the show again this week. This is is this the stretch of Wednesdays that we get to record now? Like,
Yes.
6 straight Wednesdays
Got
or
some
something
good
crazy like
Wednesdays.
that. All right, I'm excited for it, and I hope we are back here feeling great after a 9-game win streak. That would be, or a 6-game win streak would be awesome.
Let's do it.
I mean, if they could just take 4 out of those 6 games, I'll be happy with that too. Hopefully, we're coming back here on a high note, feeling good. But on behalf of myself, Bailey, and Sleepy Kev, this is the Pesky Report, brought to you by Beyond the Monster. We're excited to talk to you again next time, and I hope you guys have a great week. Go Sox.